Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Urshel Speaks. Man, I've got a great conversation that I want to have with you today. I hope if you're listening that you like and share, that you share it on Facebook or go to the YouTube channel and like it. And I do want to have a conversation today. So if you're out there and you're at a place where you can send us a comment, let us know that you're there. I would really love that. It'd be a great Christmas gift for me. But I want to talk, and we won't be on super long again today. I'm enjoying doing some of these quick hits and then having some conversations about it later. But I want to ask you today a question. You know, I've laid off the news a little bit, and but of course, there's some things that we can't escape as far as what's going on in our nation and in the world. And so over the weekend, we saw that Congress was able to, between the weekend and I think yesterday, the House and the Senate was able to come together and pass the new coronavirus stimulus. And then just before that, they were able to, at the deadline, they were able to extend the budget through the weekend, so the government wasn't bankrupt. And so, you know, they got those things done kind of, you know, at the last minute, at you know, seemingly the last day, the last hour. They're able to come to some agreements. They're able to do whatever it takes to get it signed and, you know, get it over to the president's desk so that the laws can be passed, so bad things don't happen. And as soon as I saw both those headlines pop up, it made me think of something that's relevant in my life, probably relevant in your life in some ways. I know lots of people are different of how they deal with things, but my question is, have you ever heard of Parkinson's law? I'd never heard of this until a couple of years ago. And as a matter of fact, it was someone who was a Reiki practitioner, I believe, and was having a conversation. And he asked me that, had I ever heard of Parkinson's law? And you know, I said, I know a lot of people with, you know, a few people with Parkinson's disease, but I'd never heard of Parkinson's law. And it's simply this: work expands to the amount of time allotted for it. So what does that mean? It means this is why so many term papers and assignments get done at the last minute. It means that and there's no magical there, and there's lots of interesting debate. I started going and reading what people say about Parkinson's law, and there's lots of, you know, theoretical conversations about it. Say, well, if it's true, if it really is a law, then that means, you know, you could, you know, say I only have 1 minute to build a skyscraper, but because I only have 1 minute, I would do it. Well, it's not that way. I mean, it does function in the realm of realism, just like, you know, everything else in our life. But as we evaluate what's really real, what drives us, what the motivations are, when we say work expands to the time allotted for it, what I've come to really appreciate and think about as I'm applying this to my life, and as I want you to consider as far as your life, is that why does it work that way? So I know it works that way often with me, and you know, and some of that I have to attribute to procrastination, but a lot of it has to do with motivation and how we mentally think about what we need to get done. And when we set the time, because we're actually all kind of bad at judging time and how long it takes to get things done. And most of us want to give ourselves some sort of buffer. You know, I know that, you know, the dogs might, you know, poop on the floor, or the kids might, you know, fall off the swing. All types of things might happen. And so I don't want to keep myself naturally, instinctively. I don't want to put myself in so many tight windows that anything that comes that's out of the ordinary shuts me down or causes me to miss a deadline. So, you know, we mentally, even when we think about how long it takes to get something done, usually we build in instinctively some buffer. And so that affects the sense of urgency, the motivation, the pace with which we move. when we have a shorter time frame, we become more efficient and we do things in a different way. We have a different approach, a different strategy. We prepare in a different way. We waste less time. We automatically focus in and minimize distractions. So, I mean, this is just in this part of the conversation, this is a simple productivity hack that we all can use. If we're able to really establish deadlines in the way that we do things, the way that we structure our day, the things that we have to do, the things that we need to perform, not just tasks as it pertains to work. If we do that same thing as it comes to, the lessons I want to teach my son, our children, the other important things in life, if we don't give ourselves mentally this buffer of time, and we require efficiency in our relationships, efficiency in our thinking, efficiency to say, I'm not trying to expand the time to get this done because I'm trying to be as efficient every day in everything that I'm doing so that I have more time to do all the things that I want to do. I can be more productive. I can have less stress because and I think it's kind of clear that when we extend those deadlines, we've got a project or something that needs to be done. And when that gets extended over a longer period of time than it needs to, it's not just that last hour. It's not just, up on Capitol Hill, those last few moments that people are thinking about what the laws are and who needs to be helped. What happens is that stress it lasts over a longer period of time. So when we think about how that impacts our body, how it impacts our mind, how it impacts our relationships, it actually increases. It doesn't actually allow us to relax more, except for maybe at the beginning when we don't feel the pressure. But it increases the stress and the impact that it's have on us. So there's all types of stuff. You can go Google that Parkinson's law and find some great discussions on that. And of course, what's happening in the government right now and on Capitol Hill, that's what sparked that conversation. But then it took me where I am right now into a lot deeper thought as it pertains to my life, as it pertains to my purpose and what I want to do. And that's what I really wanted to share with you and provoke some thought simply regarding this as it pertains to our life. I have here a journal. I think you probably see some coffee stains and other things on there. It's probably been a coaster as much as it has been a journal. And this is one that I really like. And I know that I'm most productive if I'm talking and if I'm writing. I'm probably being productive in my life and in the things that are most important and the things that I'm most equipped and I believe created for. And so I bought a bunch of these a while back, and this one's called the Best Self Journal. It's really good the way it's laid out, and each one I bought a pack for a whole year, I believe, and each one covers 13 weeks, and so it really kind of allows you to put your goals and it doesn't just do the day-to-day thing, but it does the day-to-day and then it combines that collective week and then that month and that quarter. And that's the part that's really cool because it really gives you, kind of forces you, if you use it properly, to reflect not just on the moments, but really be able to look back and look forward while focusing on this moment and what you're doing and how you're trying to be productive. And, and I'll be honest, I started this one out and I won't tell you exactly what date. I started this one out and I was really good. And I even put my name in there just in case I lost it, because I was probably going to have it with me everywhere I went. Because I was going to constantly be journaling, which is something I'm not super, super great at, being consistent with that. Well, in the past, it was something I wasn't great at. I'm awesome at it right now. I started this one a while back, and like a lot of things, and probably, I probably see all sorts of goals in there, weight loss, health, personal goals, things that I was going to do, actions that I was going to take. And so it started out really good. And, if I were to flip through here, and show you. Unfortunately, I started this one, definitely wasn't this year. Um, and it didn't get really far. So I'm gonna, I've got an opportunity to start this one again and then be more consistent. And I've been having some success with that. But when I opened this journal and then I flipped to the back, because I hadn't opened this one in a while, because it fell by the wayside. I got into other things, and I try to do, electronic journals and do it on my iPad, and but I think it's going to be I have more and more effective consistency if I take out a pen and I write, even though I do have my iPad with me all the time, and so this is what I'm doing. But anyway, I took this one out, and in the back there was a piece of paper, and so I knew it was back there for a reason. And so if you know me, and if you know me for a while, you've heard me talk about a guy. His name is Daniel Rusk Sullivan, and Dan was my high school buddy. Probably the best show we've ever had on Urshel Speaks was on his birthday, November 27th, a few years back, and he came in and we talked about the embracing the suck and the challenges that we face in life, and man, it's such an amazing conversation. I watch it so many times, or watch parts of it, and I think about that conversation and things that were said and comments, and actually every year more people listen to that and go back and listen to it, or it pops up, and I get comments and very impactful conversation. You can find it on the Facebook or the YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. It's November 27th, and it's Embracing the Suck is the title of it. But so I opened this up, and I saw, my one of the copies of the obituary from Dan's funeral, which came just a couple of months after he was on the show, after his birthday, just a few days before my birthday. And of course, I looked at it, and it brought up some emotion and brought up some memories. And but I still got this Parkinson's law thing that's going on in my head as well, because I'd been marinating on that for a couple of days. And I opened it up, and this is cool, and this is something I used to do in some seminars with people. Dan wrote his own eulogy after he was diagnosed with cancer. So the one that's in here, I'll read it to you real quick. It's short. Dan was a true friend. He put the people he cared about ahead of himself. He put God first, but everyone else next, not himself. He was always positive right to the end. He loved any opportunity to impact someone in a positive way. You could count on Dan to be there for you with a smile on his face. He would rise to any challenge, also with a smile. Those who knew him would all agree that Dan was the real deal. What you saw was what you got, and what you got was good. He wrote that himself once he was diagnosed with cancer. And so now I have these two things that are going on in my head that I'm thinking about as I'm working on some different projects and launching some stuff that I'm going to tell you about at the end here. And as I looked at this, and I thought about Dan and my memories and my relationship with him, and being there, I mean, we've been friends since high school, and I thought about this and this Parkinson's law, and I thought, okay, what do I, Urshel, what do I need to do with this emotion, this feeling, these thoughts, this concept of Parkinson's law? What is that? How does that all connect? Because I knew that there was something, and what I realized is that, what if 2020 hasn't taught us anything, and it's taught me a lot, right? Is that, there are a whole bunch of people that had plans and goals, and, 2020, this is going to be about this, and, I'm going to do this, and all types of plans for travel. And, after I got into the car accident, my chiropractor, wow, I mean, she and I think 6 of her friends all had weddings planned, within like a couple of months of each other. None of them were able to, have the weddings that they had planned, and do the things that they thought that they were going to do. because there were some unexpected things that 2020 has brought us. And I'm not, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh man, I can't wait to get out of this year, because 2020 has helped me in a lot of ways. The challenges that I face, the physical challenges, the mental and emotional challenges, and going through, rehabilitating my body and having to, work on my brain, and all of these different things have been really, really good for me. But when I look at it now, and in retrospect, I pay attention to what I just read when I saw Dan's program from his memorial service. When I'm thinking about Parkinson's law, when I'm thinking about all the things that happened and didn't happen, and all the plans, the best laid plans of men that all got changed by this year. I think one of the greatest challenges and one of the biggest lessons that we need to learn from what we've all experienced, and what I want to share with you today, is that don't create a false buffer of time for you to do the things that you're supposed to do, as it relates to your family, as it relates to your health, as it relates to your career, your job, the business you want to start, any of those things. We do always feel like there's more time that we have, and we don't often put enough pressure on ourselves to say now is the time to do it. And even if I'm not ready to launch that business now, I need to start working on it now. I need to have deadlines now. I need to do research now. I need to make the connections. I need to network. Whatever it is that you need to do, don't let time fool you into thinking that it's a limitless resource. It's the one finite resource that we all have. And the problem is none of us know how much of it we have. And so we're not talking about the end of your life. I'm not talking about dying. What I'm saying is that, we didn't know what was going to happen in 2020. We didn't know all the things that were going to, and we don't know what 2021 is going to look like. But I do know today, I have the ability to capture my thoughts. And in capturing those thoughts, I have the ability to create the reality that I want for my life, the reality that I want for the people around me, the reality that I want to do all the things that I know and believe that I'm supposed to do. And the biggest challenge to that is putting those deadlines in, putting that sense of urgency on all the things that really matter, putting a sense of urgency on all the things that we really, if we were to write our eulogy today, all the things that we really want said 80 years from now, when I'm no longer here, about who I was today, how I functioned, how I lived, how I acted today. And so the one thing that I have the most control over, that I have complete control over, is my thoughts. The one thing that I can always master is the way that I'm thinking and the actions that I take based on my thoughts. And so when we talk about Parkinson's law, we talk about all the things that we've experienced. My whole point in all of this is that we don't have time to waste, but we have time, and we should use it. We should use it in a way that really creates the life that we all want our eulogies to speak, whether we get to write it ourselves or whether someone else writes it for us, or even if nobody ever writes a eulogy about us. What we want the end of our story to be is that we didn't think that there was time, so we wasted it. We knew there was time, so we valued it. We took charge of our thought life. We made those things a reality. And we did the things that we were created to do, because I'm a firm believer, none of us were born to be average. None of us were born without purpose. And none of us are without the ability to be great and make an impact in the world. But all of us can miss all of those things if we just waste our time. If we choose, it's a great song, but it's not a great way of life. If we choose to sit on the dock of the bay, wasting time, whistling, watching the tide roll away, Great song, not a great way to live. So that's what I want to encourage you with is, man, take charge of your thought life. Today is a day for action. Today is a day to not allow the things to overwhelm you or to get frustrated or wait until the last minute until you feel that pressure. Now something hasn't been done, but it's not your best work. And I know some of us feel like we work great under pressure, and that's good. But pressure is going to come. Don't force it to come by not taking action. And so in saying that, I wanted to ask every single person out there to go and check out my new website, because along with all of those other things that I just said, I've just launched a new coaching practice, and you can go and you can check it out at You Are Optimized. You are Urshel. You Are Optimized. Go check it out. We're focusing specifically on business owners, and we've got some things that are going to be coming up to help businesses who've been fighting through everything through COVID. So go to youareoptimized.com, check it out. There's a free book you can download there. And one of the things that we do, and really where we feel like we have the great strategy, is we will sit down with any business owner, and you can ask us questions, a bunch of stuff on there. Just go check it out, click on it, download the book, leave me a comment. Yeah, there you go. I'll show you the money. Got another book that it may not be out by the end of the year, but definitely be out in January, definitely out before my birthday in January, called Hidden Figures. And but we can sit down with any business owner and we can walk you through a process. And within 45 minutes, I guarantee we can find, now that book says $10,000. We can find $10,000 for your business in 45 minutes. The truth is, we can find 100,000 because I've yet to not find at least $100,000 in profitable businesses that I'm sitting down with. So go check out the website, share it. If you know anyone that really needs someone to help take a look at their business, we'll be glad to do that. We've got some great tools that will help every single business owner that's out there. So go check that out, because that's part of me taking action and doing what I know that I'm supposed to be doing and really making a difference and an impact. So go to youareoptimized.com, check it out. We have a Epic Optimized Academy for those business owners, over a year's worth of training to help you build your business and really make today and the coming year everything that it's supposed to be. So check that out. Leave me a comment. Download the free book, or if you want to, a signed or autographed copy, let me know. I'll get one to you. And anyway, go out and have a great day. This is Christmas week, right? So just in a few days, we're going to be celebrating Christmas, and it's going to be different for a lot of us. And I want to tell you, be safe, be careful, take care of yourself, love your family, and make it an awesome day. This is Urshel. Urshel Speaks. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.